videos ad-free.
All right. So, hello. It's your boy, the insurance junkie, your fiduciary fella, the all-star advisor, Alonzo Hall. And I have returned today with another article. Today's article is about Ezel. You know, smoking. For $2, I clean all that shit up for you. You been eating corn, huh? Yeah. Well, we about to get into this article right now. So let's check it out. As AJ Johnson's GoFundMe gets meager donations, his widow wonders, where is the love? You know, before we get into it, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you hit that like, drop a comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're made aware every time I release new content. And as always, share. Lastly, if you'd like to contribute to channel growth, my information is in the description. Also, if you'd like to book a consult, my information is in the description. And finally, if you'd like to purchase life insurance directly, up to $1 million worth of coverage with no medical exam, my information is in the description. Leg up. So let's see here. Lexus Jones Mason, who is left to foot funeral costs, described disingenuous condolences and undelivered promises for money as fake love. Written by Bruce C.T. Wright, a News One article posted 2 hours ago, today, 2021. Now ain't that something? She's saying the lack of money from other folks, not from her husband, but from other folks, shows disingenuous love. Even though Ezel made money and was grinding in that S-Class and a life insurance policy, even if he blew $1 million, because I'm sure he blew $1 million on the trip, or the finest of alcohol, or the finest of vehicles, the lack of donations to an online crowdfunding effort organized in the wake of the death of comedian and actor Anthony A.J. Johnson has prompted his grieving widow to question her fans' and friends' loyalties to her husband. Well, ladies and gentlemen, last time I checked, they didn't love you so much that they paid your everyday bills, so why would they love you so much they pay your final bill? But Lexus Jones Mason, who started a GoFundMe campaign on Monday, hours before news of Johnson's death went viral, recently described how the outpouring of support for her family has decidedly not been of the financial variety. Mason said she needs the assistance to help pay for a proper funeral for Johnson, as well as to support their children and grandchildren. So, because he was a funny ha-ha guy, we supposed to pay the bills for your kids and grandkids. But he didn't buy life insurance, so now that's on us. That's fake love, right? He loved y'all so much that he provided this lifestyle, but he didn't make sure to protect that lifestyle. See, when you talk to an insurance agent like me, a financial advisor, and then you say, I'll talk to you about your little life insurance options, what you're not saying to me, you're not disrespecting me, you're disrespecting yourself. See, you're saying, hey family, fuck you, I don't care about you, I know I'm out here as a walking accident, but nah, I don't care if a freak accident happens. Y'all, the people who like me will take care of that. Speaking via video conference with TMZ, an emotional Mason said she was confused at the inconsistency from Johnson's friends and supporters. So y'all like me here, right? So don't even worry about that. Just hit the cash app, right? And my rent is $2,300 a month. So I need y'all, because y'all like me, to pay $2,300 a month for me and my family for the rest of our life. Because you know y'all like me. right? That's what she's saying. Y'all showing that love. So show that love. Pay our bills. Y'all say y'all love him, Mason said before asking, where is the love? She said the funeral costs are falling squarely on her shoulders. We're raising money because I have to pay for all of this out of pocket, Mason explained. She said she was resolute in giving her husband a proper homegoing service and suggested Johnson's body was still with a medical examiner's office or the local morgue. I'm asking for help, but if I don't get it, it's fine, because I'm not leaving my husband in there like that, Mason said, tearing up at times. We're going to have a service. I'm going to do everything I know he would have done for me, except get life insurance, because, you know, that's what he would have done if he were really, you know, on that red pill man stuff or that black pill, or if he was just really doing his stuff thizzle and, you know, resolute in his absoluteness, because for $2 I'll clean all that up for you. And that's what it is. For so much less than what you think it costs, you could have had that life insurance policy. I bet you she would have foregone getting the newest iPhone had she known for $1,200 a year he could have assured that she could have properly buried him for at least $1,200 a year. For the cost of that new iPhone X, or what is it, iPhone 13? Shit. I ain't gonna front, I got the fucking Samsung Galaxy S20, Ultra S21. This phone is $2,000. That same cost could go to a life insurance policy. $2,000 a year could matriculate into $250,000. Is this phone gonna do that? Nah. I'm asking for help, but if I don't get it, it's fine. I know he would have done everything. We're going to have a service, and I'm going to do everything I know he would have done for me, except he didn't get life insurance. Mason described the lack of immediate support as just hurtful and suggested that Johnson did not have a life insurance policy for the family to fall back on. It's people that's saying that they're going to give money, Mason emphasized, when we haven't received it. She said she expected funeral costs to be about $15,000, and she asked for $20,000 on the GoFundMe so that her children could split whatever is left. As of Wednesday morning, that GoFundMe account had raised a little more than $2,600. Hold on, y'all. We about to get into it again. I'm about to stop the screen, and we're going to do something, because AJ Johnson was 56, right? So, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's look at something. At 56, because she raised $2,600, and he's 56, and she said the funeral was going to cost what? $15,000 to $20,000. See, I like to show y'all in black and white. See, the reason I show y'all this shit and I don't put it behind a paywall because you need to come see me. Oh, damn, they need that. All right. All right. No, jeez. So he was 56 years old, and they raised $2,600, and she wants $20,000 for a funeral. Now, I know cats who dropped 20 racks in the store at one time. Let's do it like this. Let's create someone new. We're going to go back with Larry Graham. We're going to modify Larry Graham. We're going to make Larry Graham 56 years old instead of 33. Larry Graham is a combination of Larry Hoover and a Graham. So 56, he was born in what, 1960 something? Let's say 66. And make him 55. So 1965. All right. So Larry Graham, 1965 is when he was born. We're going to say he's a non-tobacco user. And we're going to do a term policy, the cheapest life insurance possible. Because this ish is ridiculous. No doubt, bro. I'll turn that music down. So, this is ridiculous. This dude, $2,600. We're going to input the premium. We're going to do $2,600. And like I said, I want to do this as a term policy. And let's do a 10-year term policy. Input the premium. $2,600. At age 55, a 10-year term. Just a 10-year term. This is the cheapest, since everybody says buy term and invest the rest anyway. So if AJ Johnson or Larry Graham at 55 years old, right, 56, for $2,600, exactly what is in that, he could have got $777,777. You think that would have covered that $20,000 funeral? And the bills for the rest of the kids? Right? And that's just $2,600. Right? That's $2,600. Now let's say he guesstimated that he was going to die. And we do a 1-year term. Right? A 1-year term. Just because he was like, I'm doing some risky stuff. And I just want a life insurance policy for this 1 year to cover me for this 1 year. Right? So this is rare, but there are single year policies. So this is only 1 year's worth of life insurance. For $2,600, $1.3 million worth of coverage. So that's saying he was guessing that if he dies between today and 1 year from today, then his family would get $1.3 million for that $2,600. You see the power of life insurance? And this isn't even building compound interest or anything. This is just pure, I die, my family gets a check. Again, it's only for 1 year. After that, the premium goes up, but still. For 1 year, at $2,600, $1.3 million worth of life insurance. But let's continue here. So, we want to honor him in the way he deserves. The GoFundMe says in part about Johnson. Mason said she wants to bury Johnson at Rose Hill Cemetery in California, but she will cremate him if she can't raise enough money for his burial. She was also adamant about people ending what she described as disingenuous condolences. If you guys want to give what they want to give, I will appreciate it, Mason said. But please stop the fake love. Please stop the fake calls. Please stop the fake texts. Johnson, who starred in the movie Friday, which co-starred wealthy Hollywood mainstays Ice Cube and Chris Tucker, was found dead at the age of 56 in Los Angeles earlier this month. The cause of death was not immediately reported. He has left with us amazing memories of his laughter, dynamic acting skills, but most of all his enormous personality and heart of gold. BH Talent Agency rep Linnea Bell said in a statement confirming Johnson's death. We will be in constant prayer for his entire family, including his wife Lexis, 3 children, brother Edward Peanut Smith, sister Sheila, and lifetime manager and friend Mike D. Please give them the time they need to process and grieve such a huge loss. And then we know about Greg Leaks, who died at 66, and Michael K. Williams, who died at 54. Or my homeboy, who died at 52. Right? Now you would think he's a millionaire, so $20,000, even if everything else, they should have some kind of liquidity to cover that type of an expense. So, but for $2,600, that's less than a new iPhone. You could guarantee at least $700,000. That's the homegoing he needs. You see what I'm saying? Is the music better, Brody? Salute, bro. But this is what I'm talking about. This is a classic case of being underinsured. How is it that this person who you know, damn, they finally released Tiny Lister's cause of death. But let's check his net worth. AJ, let's do this. AJ Johnson, net worth. So he was worth $100,000. Dang. He had a net worth of $100,000. Coke rib. Cuz died worth $100,000. CelebrityNetWorth.com. House Party, Lethal Weapon 3, Menace to Society, House Party 3, Friday, Panther, The Great White Hype, How to Be a Player, Baps, I Got the Hookup, Woo, The Players Club, Hot Boys, Oh, On the Edge, Sweet Hideaway, 5K1, Undercover Princess, Candy, and more. Great comedian, great actor. Died worth $100,000. A simple life insurance policy. Had he had this, his net worth would have been $877,777. Okay? And that's not a whole life policy. That's just a term policy. That's just the absolute bare bottom cheapest, not building anything for you, but making sure that when you die, your family isn't like AJ Johnson's. Worth $100,000 and begging people for GoFundMe, talking about fake love. Alright? So hopefully people can hear it on the playback. You know, I'm not going to go too long. Maybe another few minutes or so. But look at this right here, y'all. I'm showing y'all in plain black and white. And a lot of the reason I do this is book the consult, man. If not book the consult, you don't want to go through all the questions. You just want something pure, simple term. You can get up to $1 million. Almost always with no exam. Now there are some conditions that apply. Usually once you get over $250,000, it does trigger things. There'll be an RX check or a prescription check. We'll check your medical history, but we might not do a physical exam. Okay? Click the link. It's in the bio. At any rate, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoy my content, make sure you hit that like, drop a comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're made aware every time I release new content. And as always, share, share, share. Lastly, if you'd like to contribute to channel growth, my information is in the description. Woosah. For $2, I'll clean all that up for you. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy, right? Ezel went through all that. Let's look at something a little more valuable, because we talk about the dying, but let's talk about the living, right? Let's say he didn't die, and let's do a whole life policy. Let's say that again he paid that $2,600 a year, because remember, all she was looking for is 20 grand. And with him leaving a net worth of 100 grand, well, it's hard to liquidate that, because that's probably their house. So a whole life policy would leave $76,000, paying $26,001 a year. I'm sorry, $2,600.01 a year at age 56. But he'll still build cash value. He'll still get an annual dividend. So if he's living, there's money there for him. And as he's going, the death benefit is increasing. And this is just for this is every year. When he buys a new iPhone, he also puts down the $2,600 to buy a new, to renew his premium on his life insurance policy. He goes to Verizon. He says, "Hey, I want the new iPhone 13. How much is it? $2,600. I want that, and I want the earbuds, and I want the watch. How much is it? $3,200. Probably more than that. Probably like $4,500. Then he calls his insurance agent and says, "Here's $2,600 for my life insurance." So, damn, this policy is almost his entire net worth. So he could, because you know he bought the new iPhone every year. Come on, son, you got to keep up with the Joneses. We saw Ryan Lochte broke ass on Get Back in the Game. Well, maybe you didn't, but I watched MSNBC, CNBC all day, every day. I actually watch the markets and know what's happening when the ticker goes across. But at any rate, so you know he's buying the new iPhone, if not for himself, for his wife and his kids and his grandkids. Oh, my baby, grandbaby graduating, my grandbaby first birthday. We got to spend $2,600 to rent out Chuck E. Cheese. I'm worth 100 grand. I could do it. Many of y'all are worth 100 grand. All his assets, then minus the liabilities, $100,000. So when you liquidate everything, you get 100 grand. So they have to sell all the houses, all the cars, everything that's valuable, get 100 grand. Half of that will go to his funeral. And then what? They're supposed to ride off into the sunset? And how easy do you think it is to liquidate all that? That's why she's saying, oh, fake love. How come his agent, right, his manager, right, you got all these people in your life who are behind you, your CPA, your accountant, your quote-unquote financial advisor who's getting you in all these investments, and they didn't tell you to invest in your most important asset, which is your life, because without you and you being alive, you can't make those quote-unquote investments, because you don't earn the income without you being alive. So why wouldn't you insure the most valuable asset, which is yourself, your life, your ability to earn an income? Yeah, that part. So that same $2,600, damn. At the worst case, and let's say, let's even be cheaper. Let's say he only wanted to pay that for 10 years. It's going to get him a lot less life insurance coverage. But let's see. At 56, a 10-pay whole life will get him $43,000. So pretty much exactly what they wanted for the death benefit. But he's only going to pay for 10 years. So he's going to put away $26,000. and guarantee it to be at least $43,000. But the first year he puts away $2,600, and that's the year he died. Family gets $43,000. 10 years down the line, family gets $47,000, and he stops paying. Let's say he lives till 76. His family gets $54,000, doubling what he put away. $26,000 is what he put away. Family gets $55,000. Again, this is just buying death benefits, right? But basically, for $2,600 for the cost of a new iPhone, he's making sure, and this is at age 56. Again, Larry Graham at age 56, because that's how old A.J. Johnson was. See, so this is all customizable. So don't ask me, how much is life insurance? How much do you want to pay? Because there's something there for you. Now, how much you want to pay might not get you how much you think you should get. But let me ask you something. If I told you, listen, I'm going to give you $5 and you're going to guarantee me that from this $5, when I walk across the street, that you're going to guarantee to give me $500, well, there's going to be some parameters. You got to walk across the street this way, and there's got to be 3 red cars, and they got to be barreling down the street. There's got to be some risk in it for me, too. So that every 10 minutes I don't cross, you get another $5 from me or something. You ain't just going to guarantee me $500 because I gave you $5. $2,600.03. We'll get a minimum of $43,875. Is that not exactly what she asked for? She wanted between $20,000 and $50,000 for funeral costs. Right? And she asked for $20,000 in the GoFundMe. But for the price of one iPhone, that grandbaby not having that brand new iPhone, because the iPhone 12 that he has works pretty good, you know. So instead of that, just buy that life insurance policy, and when Ezel is gone, y'all can keep the house. Because if he died worth $100,000, and he was the only working person in the family, who do you think is gonna pay the taxes on that house? They gotta liquidate everything and move out anyway. That's not why she's mad about the quote-unquote fake love for the funeral. She's mad because there's no money left to take care of everything else. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, if you're enjoying the content, hit that like, drop a comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're made aware every time I release new content. And as always, share, share, share. Lastly, if you'd like to contribute to channel growth, my information is in the description. If you'd like to book a consult, my information is in the description. If you'd like to apply for up to $1 million with no health exam, my information is in the description. That being said, white ass, work in progress every day and see success. White ass, work in progress every day and see success. White ass, work in progress every day and see success. And remember, when people challenge you, they don't challenge you to challenge you, but they challenge you to challenge you. Set up. We got somebody want to jump up. Hold on. Let me drop the link real quick. Alright, so I did drop the link actually. Anybody want to come up, have something they want to say? Because that whole situation with A.J. Johnson is just disturbing. Logo for this real quick. Links in the description, ladies and gents. So let's go further through his network. Fans are left distraught upon the actor comedian's death. Upon learning his demise, rushed to Twitter to mourn, paid tributes to the actor who left them in stitches with their performance. According to Celebrity Net Worth, AJ Johnson was worth $100,000 at the time of his death. Salute, brother. What's going on, brother? How you doing today?
Peace, man. What's going on, man? Can you hear me?
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, my fault. My I had my volume down.
Oh, okay. What's going on with you?
I can't complain, man. I'm just sitting here looking at this situation with AJ Johnson, and they raised $2,600 in the GoFundMe, man. And she's mad, and I get it, but why is she mad at the fans and the family and the friends, right? When he could have spent, like I said, $2,600. How much is the new iPhone? About that much.
Right. Well, this is just another example. People in our group, and it's just the power of celebrity and media.
Give me 1 second. I got a call coming in. Go hold me down for a second, bro.
Yeah, people thinking that celebrities are invincible. And obviously, that's not true. It doesn't matter what color they are. We've seen plenty of celebrities die tragically, unexpectedly. Even when we go back to the Pac and Biggie days, one of the things that was a problem for Tupac was that he didn't have his estate in order. There was some back and forth, with his mom and death row or whatever. That they ultimately settled it, but I think maybe Biggie as well. We have, the list goes on. We have people like Nate Dogg, man, Nate Dogg died at 41. He had a stroke at 41 years old. And I think it was 2007, and then the next year he had another one. And it's just this consistent thing that we collectively just do not want to take it as serious as it needs to be, and really properly set up our states and things like that. Focus on those things, because it's easy to just focus on things like celebrities and stuff like that. That's a distraction. And then when situations happen like this, these people's family are coming to the public, and the only reason why we know of this particular person was because he was a celebrity. If he wasn't a celebrity, we wouldn't know this guy. But his wife is asking his fans and other people to do for them what they wouldn't even do. Trying to shame people into properly planning their estate when that's their responsibility. And so it's just another example. We talked about this with the life insurance when we were talking about how you can do premium financing. You get loans to pay for your premiums on your life insurance. So that pretty much effectively ends all the talk and chatter about the white man this and the system is this and such and such and such and such. When you got people who are foreigners who are using the system, the financial infrastructure, things like life insurance, to not only preserve their wealth but to increase it as well. So it's just another unfortunate example of what your family can look like when you die. Your family could be out here literally begging for money, when they didn't have to, because if y'all would have properly handled things the way you're supposed to. And this is something that I've seen throughout families throughout the years. You'll have people who, like I've seen this in a lot of older Black people where they know they're dying, but they don't say anything. And then all of a sudden, they die and people are scrambling for money like, yo, how are we going to bury this person? And, they'll just leave their relatives literally holding the bag, expecting them to just take care of it, not realizing that even when it comes to things like cremation, man, it costs money. And the average Black person, we already talked about just the average American, in terms of dollars saved, like a savings account is really low, like $200 or something like that. So the average American just don't have money sitting around to just pay for somebody's burial that costs thousands of dollars. So it's just it's a warning, to all these Black people, who don't take this life insurance seriously, who don't utilize it as a tool in terms of proper estate planning. And somebody like him, like, yeah, he made people laugh in comedy, but ain't nobody laughing now because it's a serious matter. And at the end of the day, it's not handled. I had a homeboy, my college years ago, he died tragically. I think it was 2013, I think it was. Rest in peace to him. And because he was so popular, around the school, it was a lot of us students who was cool with him that helped pay for his funeral. And his mom and dad was at the funeral, and if it wasn't for the students that pulled the money together, pulled the money together, they wouldn't have had the money because he was cremated, but they had a viewing of his body. They wouldn't have had the money to even cremate him, and it was a tragic death. He was, in his 30s, and they just didn't have it. And they had all these family members there, speaking, mom, dad spoke on behalf of them. They didn't have no money. And they had to basically, it took for the people that knew him and had love for him to really pull the money together. Black people can't keep doing stuff like this. This is, especially when you start talking about people who are celebrities, like, they don't really have an excuse because they're in industries where they can make money and they can set these things up. And something basic, like you talk about just a basic policy for $50,000, like you will pay for your burial at least. So, but she's talking about helping take care of their children and their grandchildren. It's like, that's not the public's responsibility. Like, this welfare mentality, man, is just really prevalent, man, in our group, man. And unfortunately, it's the reason why every generation of Black people keep starting at ground zero, because nobody wants to do what's important in terms of setting up the proper policies to properly plan their estate. So when they pass on, they can at least pay some money forward to the next generation that can allow them to start a business like Master P uncle did for him, which he ultimately turned $10,000 into roughly $600 million by using that money, I think, to start a record store at first and ultimately starting No Limit. So, but that's the beauty of properly planning an estate. you could pay some money forward, and the person who takes that money, it's like basically taking a baton in a relay to keep it going, so you can win the race. And they take that money and they increase it, and they just keep doing it generation after generation. Go ahead, Zoe. Hold it down for him until he comes back. But yeah, folks, just we have to just become much more knowledgeable about estate planning. Um, you know, we're all going to die. I mean, that's just the reality of life. Um, and you know, when you pass, you want to be able to leave something behind, so people can, take that and increase it. You know, so they can live uh, well in your absence. And that's something that something like life insurance allows you to do. Um, it allows you to take care of people, especially when you parents. Helps you provide for them in your physical absence, because they get that money in their hand. Now they can do something with it. They especially start a business. Um, that can actually increase that money. So you don't die in vain. That's one of the things that humans don't generally want, to have their life not have any meaning and die in vain. Problem is that because, especially when it comes to black people, especially because black people tend to be the most Christian people out here, and they love to talk about God and Jesus and heaven, but they seem to never want to really plan to go. They just seem to want to just stay, and that's not going to happen. And so, um, you would think, as much as they love God and Jesus in heaven, they will be happy to go, but they don't plan like they're going. They live life as they're going to be here forever, and that's just not the way it is. And so that's what makes people like Alonzo so important in these spaces. For us men especially, because we should be the ones leading this, but also women can also take advantage of these things as well. Because women should be about the importance of their estate as well, in conjunction with the men who lead them. So this is a family endeavor. Estate planning is all about family and family succession and wealth, and making sure resources stay in the family, so you can keep pushing forward economically, so your family can be strong and powerful. So um, we have to really take these matters much more seriously than we do as a collective. Also, too, as a collective, we have to get much more knowledgeable just about these financial matters. I mean, you have whole types of organizations out here who are dedicated to fighting things like the death tax. Um, and Investopedia says that death taxes are taxes imposed by the federal and or state government on someone's estate upon their death. These taxes are levied on the beneficiary who receives the property in the deceased will or the estate, which pays the tax before transferring the inherited property. So basically, the government gets to tax portion of the estate when it's not properly um, executed. And according to Investopedia, as of 2018, the federal estate tax is up to 40% of the inheritance amount. So obviously, nobody wants the government coming in and hitting you up, getting as much of your as much as almost 50% of the value of your estate. And this is why things like life insurance are so critical, because there are people who literally set up policies to be able to pay their taxes on their estate. So when they pass on, their estate is not taxed in such a way that the benefit that goes to the beneficiary is lessened. They can use a life insurance policy to pay that actual tax, which people do all the time. And these are just some of the just ingenious ways that people use to preserve and increase their net worth and estate for the present while they're living and when they pass on. And so it's just smart to use these things to your advantage, because I mean, if you really care about your family and love your family, you don't want to see them broke, you know. And we just really need to, individually, because everybody, a lot of people try to make these issues a collective thing. You know, there are certain things that you can, or certain conversations you can have to explain things from a collective standpoint, but everybody has their own estate. This is for every individual. You know, you can be black and you can properly set up your estate, no problem. It ain't against the law, it's not illegal. And that's for anybody, any color, nationality, ethnicity, doesn't matter. And that's the beautiful thing. You don't have to have black people as a collective do this. You need to do this as an individual. This is your responsibility as an individual. And if you don't do this as an individual, you can't come out here to the public of black people, especially, but the world in general, expecting the world to do something for you that you refuse to do for yourself. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. And so, being about your state, it's an adult matter. Adults think about these things and make sure they put themselves in a position to make sure they properly set up their estate, like I said, for the present and for the future generations, because it's a family thing. This is all about family. When people are properly setting up their estate, they're doing it for the primary reason of making sure their family will be okay once they're gone. And that's a noble thing. That's a noble endeavor.
Exactly.
To be thinking about people, once you're gone, to handle your business while you're living, but you're thinking about your death and how once you're gone, you still want the people you love to have a life where they're they can at least live good and live, don't have to be out here and be poor. That's very noble for anybody to think like that, because that's not monetary, that's spiritual. So of course, you know, when you have those tools at your advantage, you should use those tools to your advantage. So you can utilize these things when you're presently living, but then the people that come, the people that are here after you, once you're gone, they can use these things as well in your absence.
Exactly. A lot of what Rob was saying, I was listening in the background a little bit. I had to take care of a little bit of biz. But it is about, estate planning. And so the reason that life insurance is there, believe it or not, is not just for dying and leaving a check, but when you're dying, right, you're already planning for your financial legacy, for doing things like setting up life insurance, having investments, having businesses, right?
So you might have,
Things like that.
so you might have to go out and come back in, kind of boarding.
On boarding.
Yeah.
All right. All right. How is it now?
Say something.
All right. Is it better?
Yeah.
Testing.
Yeah, you better now.
All right. Cool. So, as I was saying, man, you speaking about estate planning is, like you said, spiritual. So it's deeper than just, I leave a check here. Hold on, I'm getting another phone call.
The sad thing is that we're seeing people's personal lives play out um, in the public domain in sad and tragic ways. Like it's almost being viewed as entertainment, but this is people's real lives. Like these are real people. They he was alive at one point, and then he died, and you know the improper planning is being shown to the public. And you would think that, as much as we've seen, celebrities and people tragically die and not have their estates in order, you would think we would take things, much more seriously. But so many distractions out here. A lot of people's mindset is more geared towards um, entertainment instead of education, proper education. And the irony is that these be the people who are going to the polls every election voting for some change they think needs to be implemented. They're the main ones out there with the picket signs complaining about the system. When there are things in the system, because they love to go, human beings just have naturally a negative bias. So they just gravitate more towards the negative stuff than the positive stuff. And so people are constantly looking for something out here to complain about. Um, but there are many Black people that have plenty to complain about in terms of their family. And what they should be complaining about more so than anything within their families is their family's financial illiteracy. That's what they should be complaining about, because it's this very financial illiteracy that contributes to a lot of the poor experiences that they encounter in their lives. And we live in an information innovation age. There's no such thing as you not knowing. We literally are in an age of knowing, not believing, but knowing, which means we have such a proliferation of information. We have to figure out how to actually filter the information so we don't go on information overload. The information is out here. You have people out here who do podcasts on these types of topics. Um, they got YouTube channels, podcasts, all types of things, you know, um, trying to inform Black people specifically, but, Americans in general about these particular topics. And so can't keep learning. You shouldn't have to keep learning through people's tragic mistakes. There are people out here who write books on these particular subjects because they want the general public to know what their options are. People are not writing these books because they're just fun to write. They care about the topic. If somebody sits down and write 300-400 page book on estate planning, that means they really care about the subject. Because if you go back in the day when they didn't have TV and radio and those types of things, um, people used to write books on things like trusts and wills and estates. People will write 6, 7, 800 page books on these particular topics. I mean, I have some of these books. I have some of these books, these old books from the 1800s. Because, some places have put some of these things online, like Google. And once they become out of copyright, past the time of copyright, they just put it out there to the public. And these people, they literally thought about their estates all the time. That was at the foremost of their brain. making sure their estate was set up properly for their family. Because especially during those times, the life expectancy of people was not really high. So they wanted to make sure that they had their affairs in order. They weren't expecting to live to 80 and 90 years old. The problem that a lot of people are going to have nowadays is that people are actually living older. So you're going to need money to last you into your later years, which is another reason why things like proper setting up these life insurance policies can be to your advantage, because you can set them up in ways that you can take advantage of them while you're still living too. So they have
Yes.
dual purposes that you can benefit
So,
from. You can benefit from them when you're living, and your family can benefit from them when you pass on. It's a win-win on both sides.
big facts. So, Rod, I gotta end this because I had a meeting 5 minutes ago. So you want to go ahead and shout out any last words?
Oh, that's it, man. Thanks for having me up, man. Go ahead, do your thing.
No doubt. Salute, ladies and gentlemen. White Bats, work in progress every day. And remember, when people challenge you, they don't challenge you to challenge you, but they challenge you to challenge you. Accept the challenge. Salute.